Hello, and welcome to our Q&A. We hope you enjoyed our prototype design review and are very excited to welcome you here in our office in the Science Center of the TU Delft. I am Nikki De Zeeuw, and I'm the Communications and Branding Coordinator, and I'm here today with Agnes.
Hi, my name is Agnes, and I'm part of the design team, and I've been involved in both the structure and the envelope, and I'm super excited today.
So before we start, let me just quickly explain how this Q&A is going to work. For the next 30 minutes, everyone at home, at work, or at university can ask us everything about our design, our movement, or the next steps some is going to make throughout the year. Agnes and I will try to answer as many questions as possible. So let's get started. One of the main questions that we got for the last few weeks from family, friends, and everyone else has been, how do you feel about going to Wuppertal in a year? So Agnes, how do you feel?
I am super excited. I think everybody can agree that this is what we are working for, both for the past year and a half and for still almost a year left. So yeah, to see everybody come together, and we're already making huge steps. We're not there yet, but we're almost.
That's what I was just going to add on to. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily use the word ready to describe our team state at the moment, but we are mentally there already. I mean, ready is a large word, seeing as we still have to build the prototype. But our planning is going great, and we're really excited about the partners we are working together with and our social plan as well. So we hope to be able to show that to everyone coming fall when the prototype has been opened.
So I think one of the other questions that we have also heard a lot is why do you use the tenement flats? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I think this is an interesting one. We got that a lot from webinars and stuff as well. A lot of people have been saying to us, why do you choose the renovation of tenement flats? Because to a lot of people, they do not hold any value. They're sites for, or they are just a sore spot in neighborhoods. And to us, that is just quite the opposite of what we think of them. We think of them as little gems within the neighborhoods with their own social systems and their own ecologies that have just been neglected for the past couple of years, ever since they were built, actually. And what we mainly want to do by choosing tenement flats and providing a renovation plan for our tenement flats is to be able to keep these gems and make them up to the current standards that we have in architectural design. Another important part is that we want to keep these social communities together. What you see very often right now is that all of these spaces, they get demolished, and the communities within, they get kind of pushed out towards the more outer areas of cities where they had their own social connections in the tenement flats, and we just think that that's a waste, and we want to change that.
I think also on top of that, the tenement flats give huge possibilities because it is 11% of the building stock in the Netherlands, and by designing something that is generic and can be used for all these buildings, we're tackling a huge part of the Dutch building stock. And there is a lot of improvement that can be made in these buildings because they were built in the 50s and 60s, and installational values were not really at high standards at that point. So by improving that, we're also improving the existing buildings of a very large community.
Great. I see that a question came into the chat, which is, what are the other competitors in the competition doing, and how do you distinguish yourself from other teams? Well, actually, there's a lot of teams that compete, and I'm sure a few of them are also watching right now because we tend to do that for each other. There's a lot of different designs currently being built up for the competition. A lot of them are also renovation plans or top-up plans. I think the main important thing why we distinguish ourselves from the other teams within the competition is not just our design. Our design is something with which we already kind of distinguish ourselves due to the way it looks and the way we put it together, and also us having two stories with a core next to it. But I also think we really distinguish ourselves from the other themes by the entire social plan we have next to it. We are developing a platform, like Dawn has been saying in the video, to be able to learn people the right habits and stuff like that. And we are also busy trying to organize workshops together with the neighborhood that we are using as a case study to be able to truly give something back to the neighborhood. We do not want to just be a competition entry. Competition is great, but we want to look beyond the competition. We want to start something greater, and that's why our name is the Symbiotic Urban Movement. We want to start a movement. It doesn't stop at the competition. It goes beyond that.
Yeah, and I think you said it again, the symbiotic urban movement. The word symbiotic is just as important as the word movement. It's not just a architectural design that we're making, it is the whole package. It is taking into account all the social aspects of the design, but we're also trying to give back to nature and trying to give that a bigger role into the design. So I think all in all, having all those aspects in our design is really, the complete picture is what I think is really strong for us.
I agree.
The next question, will we be able to visit the unit after the competition in Wuppertal? So I think something very, very exciting is that we have been selected as one of the living labs, which means that our prototype will be in Wuppertal for another 3 years. How the exact arrangement is going to be and how you can visit, we're not sure yet, but it should definitely be able to also still go and take a look after the competition.
Yeah, and we're very excited to have been selected by that, because through the Living Lab we can truly show that our unit is not just a competition entry, but it's actually a livable, inhabitable space that people can thoroughly enjoy and visit even after the competition. So we're very, very excited about that. I see another question, which is, how did you incorporate the lessons learned from previous years to assure the win this year?
Ouch. No, I think definitely I think the nice thing about the TU Delft is that we have the advisors, and a couple of them has also been involved in previous projects, and they're really, really helping us progress throughout the whole design and try to see where other teams were struggling and can help us at an early stage to try and improve that. And we have great partners as well. So I think those things are really, really helping to make sure that, I wouldn't say mistakes that were made, but I think to even strengthen those points that were maybe not as strong in the last competitions, to really make sure that those come out really beautiful right now. So yeah, I think that mostly the advisors and also the contact that we have with more is a really big help for us there.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Our advisors play a big part in the way we learn from, for example, Moore and Pret-a-Loger, which were our previous, our predecessors basically. We want to truly learn from them, and our advisors have really been pushing us, like Agnes was already saying, to make the most out of it and create something that is truly 100% winner worthy, so to speak.
Absolutely.
I see another question. Will the cross ventilation over the plants not cause any problems for the high humidity inside the building?
Yeah, I think this is definitely something that we have to take into account. We're still trying to figure out all the final calculations and make sure that everything works. I think the most exciting thing is that we can use passive ways of cooling down our apartment, and we don't have to use the ventilation unit. But yes, it's true. But this is trying to find the right balance of the plants on the gallery and how much we can use to empower that green space, but still have it a functional building. So we're definitely looking into that to make sure that that's not happening.
Yeah, exactly. And we're also really, because our core, like you saw, it's made of glass for a lot of the spaces. So for us, it's really important to not create like a greenhouse in essence. So what we're working a lot with is creating being able to open certain parts of the facade as well to make sure the humidity and the temperature do not rise to extremes, to create a livable space, as we said before.
Yeah, and this openable space is like the fact that you can open your window yourself also really improves because you get a little bit of control back. And sometimes right now people want to have this fully automated system in which people lose that control. But we want to give that part back so that the resident feels very comfortable in their own apartment.
Yeah, exactly.
The next question, I think it's a symbiotic idea to renovate the present apartment. Residents complain a lot about the sound problems between the apartments though. Have you thought about how to fix this problem? Yes, it's very true. Again, these all these apartments were made in the 50s and 60s. Also, sound insulation was not something that they took into account. So part of the envelope that we're making is we're insulating it both for thermal waves but also for sound waves, so that the sound coming from the exterior is already a lot decreased. And we definitely want to look into the apartments and see in where we can find a balance in having a very, very quick turnover, and having that the residents have to leave for a very short period of time, but also improve these things. So maybe, for example, put in an extra floor so that the sounds from above cannot really go down, or maybe use acoustic paneling on the wall. And we're also looking that into the design room right now on the ground floor because it's a communal space, a lot of people are talking. So already looking into some ways of improving this sound in the prototype as well.
Yes. Another question that we got is, when can we visit the prototype in The Hague? We will start building our different modules during summer. And after this, we will start building in The Hague. And hopefully, if everything goes well, everyone will be able to visit the prototype sometime next fall. So we're really excited about that. We really hope to be able to welcome every single one of you there. We are hoping to host a lot of workshops there as well, both for our partners, but also for people who live in the neighborhood, to be able to make the HDU, the prototype, an entire experience, even within The Hague and within the Netherlands, instead of just at Wuppertal.
Yeah, and again, really try to involve the community, in which in the end we're doing this for, and also try to hear their opinions about the prototype and see how we can even improve further. So I think that's something very exciting. And yes, hopefully everything goes well and everybody can come and see the prototype soon.
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
Then another really intriguing question is, what is your favorite part of the prototype? What is yours?
I mean, I've mostly been working on the ground floor, so I guess that has to be a bit of a favorite of mine.
Yeah.
No, but again, like, we're working so hard with the whole team to try and see, and everybody is just improving so much. And the interior of the top-up changed recently, and it's like looking amazing now. So there are all these little parts in the prototype that I think are very interesting and can be explored further. So it's not just one thing. It's really hard to mention that, but I think this ground floor space in the end is going to be something that is super, super nice, because there is a lot of community that can come in and happen. So yeah, super excited about it. How about you?
I definitely have to agree. I mean, I'm really excited about all the spaces we're creating, but I mean, I'm always a bit partial to a cafe where I can get a nice cup of coffee, take it outside, sit in the sun. And I'm really excited to be able to do that at our prototype, both in The Hague and in Wuppertal as well.
Yeah. Now maybe we can talk a bit more about what we were doing on this ground floor, because it's also been one of the questions been asked, like what is the purpose of this ground floor, both in the prototype but also in the actual design?
Yeah, that's a good one. Like I mentioned before, we are planning on doing workshops there, both for partners and for residents as well. And we want to make those workshops actually mean something. So what we want to do is we want to, as a part of our social plan, be able to teach people new things through our design. So the workshop rooms, for example, we want to use them to be able to maybe do some workshops on arts and crafts, like Hannah mentioned in the video, but also, for example, learning new languages, like Dawn mentioned. We want to be able to create a community where people learn from each other instead of just focusing on the negatives about being surrounded, especially during times of COVID. We want to be able to truly create a community again and have people lift each other up and learn each other new things instead of it being too crowded and not having any understanding for each other, which seems to be the direction a lot of cities are going these days with the rate at which urban areas are growing.
Yeah, like we keep densifying and densifying, and I think also something great is that by just topping up, we keep this ground floor very, very open, and we're trying to bring back this very active ground floor that was once there but has gone now for a while. So I think that is something that is a very, very interesting part about our concept as well. And as you said, there is the cafe and there's the arts and craft, but we can also, people can give their birthday party there, and it's also just a space that you can rent out. So I think that's very nice. All right, then a very big one. Could you give an overview of all the amazing partners you are working with?
Yeah, and I see a follow-up as well. For instance, who is your main contractor? I think our main contractor especially, we're really excited about because they're Smits Vastgoedzorg. And they actually have a lot of experience in the renovation of projects and even did a tenement flat or two, if I'm correct. And we're really, really excited to be working together with such an experienced party. And the same goes for all of our partners, to be honest. We have so many great partners that you also saw the logos in the video of. I think we also have a little setup where you can see them at the end of the video. Because we really, really appreciate everything that they do, and we're really excited to work with every single one of them for the coming year.
Yes, exactly. Maybe we can go in a bit, like the three main partners besides Smits Vastgoedzorg for the prototype are for the ground floor De Groot & Visser, and then for the circulation core is Jansen by ODS, and then for the top up we have wow.
I just see we have many partners.
Yeah,
like, it gets really,
Jan Snell.
really
yes,
hard.
That's
yes,
it.
Jan Snell, definitely. It gets really hard for us to keep track of every one of them, but that doesn't mean we appreciate them any less.
And we see some partners coming in, I think, as well.
Yeah, exactly.
No, definitely. Also, all the other partners, we do really, really appreciate you. The city of Den Haag is also supporting us.
SDE, of course. I mean,
yes, the TU Delft.
We wouldn't even be competing if it wasn't for SDE or TU Delft. The Hague is very graciously helping us with choosing our location for our HDU, which we're very excited about because we truly want to get there where the people are, so to speak.
Yeah.
So we want to be able to truly show it to as many people as possible, and we feel like working together with The Hague to choose a location gives us that advantage, basically.
And then hopefully also after the prototype is finished and after our business case is finished, we can actually continue this into The Hague and other cities, and it doesn't just stay to be a university project, but something of a movement that will continue even after this.
Yes. I think that has been it for Q&A questions. I don't see any new ones coming in. If so, speak now or hold your peace.
Yeah, that's true. Always, if they have any other questions that they didn't come up with now, they can always contact us.
Definitely.
And we will happily answer all those questions.
You can definitely reach us everywhere. You can send us an email, you can send us a contact form through our website. You can always send us a message via social media, and we'll be more than happy to talk to you about every single thing that we're coming up with as we go. These are basically also the places that we will keep you updated, so to speak, is social media, where we have Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn as well, if any professionals want to connect with us. We have our website, which we keep updated with the latest design developments. And I think you'll also be able to get in contact with us through there, as I said before.
Yeah, and these next steps are going to be super, super excited because right now we are finalizing our construction documentation, so we're getting all the details finished so we can start ordering all the materials that we need. And then over summer we'll start assembling the first pieces, and then in September it's going to be the big month, and we're going to start construction in The Hague. And we're going to see everything come together. So yeah, a lot of things to come, so please follow us, and we will update you.
Yeah, as mentioned before, all of our handles will follow shortly. We have made a little image where you can find every single one of them. And we hope to see you either in The Hague or in Wuppertal, and hope you definitely enjoyed our prototype design review and Q&A.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you to the team, and hope to see you soon.
Yes. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.